pineapple under the sea.
Hey, welcome to Mythology 300, Cargo Cults. One of my favorite authors, Peter Levenda, said in Gods, all religion is cargo cult religion. What is a cargo cult? If you don't know what modern editing can do, for example, then the change in my wardrobe would be magic, and that might cause them to worship me. And that worshiping as a god who can do magic begins the religion. Christopher Columbus himself employed a very similar strategy when he was stranded on Jamaica.
On the 29th of February 1504, Christopher Columbus used knowledge of a forthcoming lunar eclipse to fool Jamaican natives into providing his stranded crew with provisions. In a meeting with the local leader, Columbus said that his god was angry that the natives had stopped providing food and would show his displeasure by making the moon appear inflamed with wrath. 3 nights later, on the 29th of February 1504, the moon turned dark red. According to Columbus's son Ferdinand, who'd accompanied his father on the voyage, the natives greeted the sight with great howling and lamentation, and soon returned laden with provisions and beseeching the admiral to intercede with his god on their behalf.
Needless to say, by the end, nobody was going to mess with Christopher Columbus.
In the first book of Tom DeLonge and Peter Levenda's three-part trilogy, Gods, Man, and War, Gods, they used the more traditional example of a cargo cult as originally defined by the cargo cults discovered in the Pacific after World War II. So both of these cargo cults rely on a people being unintelligent and unaware of what's possible, and therefore worshiping the power of knowledge more than anything, if you think about it. Neither of these are the cargo cults that we're talking about in the Venus Cataclysm. Because, as I've explained, and as we've looked at through the mythology interpretation, these were not an unintelligent people. These were not individuals who had a low level of conscious understanding of the universe. Quite the opposite. They knew an awful lot about our history. They knew an awful lot about the science of the cataclysm.
Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
I can't stress this.
Holy crap.
Humankind was brought within an inch of its life.
Makes sense.
The entire planet was devastated, and humankind sunk to levels that we'd rather not talk about.
Oh, sure.
In those days, because mortality rates were so high, you would tell these stories to the youngest people that you could in a way that the youngest could then relate to, and as they grew up, they would begin to understand the encoded knowledge, and it would be apparent to them. But the people who could translate those stories, they were traumatized.
Oh, sure.
And then you don't talk about it.
No, you don't.
And so the mystery was lost over the ages where no one had context anymore. But when mom and dad began telling those stories so that the children would remember them, they were telling them stories that they hoped someday could refresh and enlighten people to remember an event in great antiquity, an event that launched religions worldwide by the electrical forces that were seen in the sky. This is the heart of Mythology 300, cargo cults. The idea that from this moment, the people were so traumatized they either had to worship the electrical symbols in the sky, or perhaps a more mysterious and invisible one that saved them. Don't forget to click that like, share, and subscribe button.
Oh, sure.
And leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. Peace.
Is that a new hat?
Yeah, no. Yeah, this was a gift my sister got it for me. I know, right? Really brings out the chin.